Hello, friends. Can you hear me? Great. It would be wonderful if I can see you also. If you want, you can keep your video on. I have no problem. So, friends, today we are into a very interesting topic. And this topic is going to be a journey within directions, the hormones within. In my years and years of therapy and homeopathy practice, very interesting insights and very interesting phenomena reveal themselves each day. So one of the most significant learnings that has been emerging is this: what is this hormones within doing? So we're going to make a little journey into this. And as much interactive you become, we will be able to enjoy this process. So, as I said, that this journey is hormones within, and the main hormonal glands are the pituitary and the adrenaline. And in medical science, it is normally called hypothalamus pituitary adrenaline axis. What is it called? Hypothalamus pituitary adrenaline axis. It is HPA. In a प्यार से उसको HPA बोलते हैं. So before we begin, I want to pay my respect to my gurus. And my life, as I've always said, has been before meeting Dr. Newton and after meeting him. So, friends, today we want to look at emotional upheaval. When you are emotionally, a lot is happening. In human life, this is a very common occurrence, as I understand from let me see if I can see you all. Yeah. So this is a very common occurrence, this emotional upheaval. So when you are in this emotional upheaval, when there is a dispute, when there is a quarrel, when there is a friction, when there is emotional discord, when there is stress, when there is a fight within a family or a group or a couple, when there is a huge disturbance that all of us face in our lives. So when there is this huge disturbance, examine, friends, what is your emotional reaction and what is your action. Think now of multiple situations that you might have undergone as human beings, where the situations were emotionally interesting, is a good word to put. So let's go, for example, the first reaction. Look at this reaction where you inhibit, you sacrifice to keep peace. You let go. Chodo jane do. You let go to keep the harmony. You don't act, you be quiet. You inhibit, you suppress. And you think in your mind, why create more trouble? You fear consequences. If I speak, if I talk, if I express, what will happen? Your eyes, no. It is better to be quiet, keep shut, because there is fear of these emotional outbursts, emotional fireworks. And there is an apprehension about fully expressing yourself, your inner suffering, to the extent that you can even get frozen and not able to respond and react, and emotionally one becomes frozen. So please share with me, friends, how many of you have or are responding in this way? Is our chat box active? Maybe let me check if I can go to my chat box. How can I go to the chat box? Yes. Maybe
I was unmuted, sir. I was told
Yes,
to
no.
be. So
No,
this
no.
is
One at a time, we will unmute and then we can, you
Okay.
can mute again. Can you relate to this?
Me personally, sir.
Yes.
No, I'm not this type, sir.
You are not this type.
No.
Okay, good. So how many can relate to this? Who?
Sir, can you please unmute?
Yeah.
Muted all.
Okay. So anybody else would like to share? Yes, Meeraji. You need to unmute, Meeraji.
Can you hear me, sir, now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Please.
Yes, sir. Sometimes in the workplace, this happens when we are with the authority and a gathering is there and many people's their opinions are coming, and especially when the authority is there, sometimes even though we feel like sharing our feelings and saying this is not the way, but we keep silence just to ensure peace.
Yeah, to ensure peace, you keep silence.
Yes,
Anybody else? Yes, wonderful. Anybody else can relate to this way of feeling, this way of reacting? Yes. Yes, Gauravji. Yes, Gauravji.
Pranams, Master.
Pranam. Pranam, Gaurav.
Thank you for being here, first and foremost. Your presence is very auspicious for all of us and gracious to have taken this time to bring us this wisdom. And yes, sir, emotional troubles is the hallmark of being human alive.
Correct.
And indeed, it has been a big challenge for me emotionally. And I do face some of the things. One is coming from a space of unawareness. Then when I was doing, I was feeling suffering in it. And then I come to a place, like you said before, Dr. Newton, sir, and after Dr. Newton, sir. So yes, after Dr. Newton, sir, it is coming from a space of pain and not suffering with awareness.
But just this reaction, the way to react is to inhibit and not express, and to rather keep peace than to speak out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sometimes, many times I would say, We see a
Yes.
lot of things
Just
around us.
recognize these tendencies right from the
Yes, sir,
childhood.
it is there. Yes, sir.
Is there? Yeah,
Even in
wonderful.
socially approved environments, it is
Correct.
taken as
Correct.
acceptable, actually, rather
Correct.
than not.
This is a big human phenomenon. I would say
Yes.
many patients come to me only because of this. If this was not there, my practice would be over. I would have
Same
to
here,
do some
sir.
another
Myself, a humble
profession.
student. Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm also a humble student in medicine.
Yes.
And these are psychosomatic, like Dr. Newton sir says, is the
Yes.
hallmark of 90% of my medical practice,
Correct.
from
Correct.
gastritis to diabetes to
Yes.
headache, to
Yes.
migraine to
Yes.
ulcers, everything, sir.
Everything. Wonderful. So thank you, Dr. Kaurav.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else would like to share? Yes, Krina ji, Bankim Vakil, please.
Okay.
Hello, good evening, Dr. Jayesh.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure seeing you. And the simple, your face gives inner peace. But yes, it does happen to me. I do keep quiet in certain situations where I feel that it may cause further unrest, or even if there is some kind of quarrel or confrontation going on, I'd rather stay out of it.
Correct.
Because
we want to stay out of this garshan, the
yes.
friction, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
And you know, just for the reason that meant to maintain peace.
To
And
maintain
it's not,
peace, to maintain peace, to maintain what we can call as stability.
yeah.
Yes. Can
Yeah.
you recognize, all of you, that how important it is for us to maintain this stability?
Yes. And also to a certain extent, it, at least I have not recognized any kind of upheaval within me if I maintain this kind of peace.
Yeah, if I maintain this, I am happy. I can keep the boat going, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Harvindan Kaurji, Bediji, please.
You didn't want to say anything?
Bankimji wants to say something.
Yeah. Good evening, Jayesh Shah, and good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So,
Bankim.
yeah, my first reaction is this, that to avoid the fight.
To avoid the fight. This is very, very, very beautifully saying, because all human minds are same, you know. Avoid the fight, as Bankimji says. It's such an important phenomena in our life. We need to look at this. We will examine this today. How many of you can relate to this? Avoid the fight. Super, Bankim. Super. Just this one sentence or 3 words is making so much meaning.
Yeah, but it causes a lot of stress also. It because it is like building up pressure inside me.
Yes.
Because it is not as per what I want, I wish to express.
Yeah, it's not aligned to your inner calling. Yes. Let's look further. Yes, we will see this whole phenomena. Let us unfold a little bit. Let's get some more sharing, because we have 1.5 hours. We want to do meditation. We want to understand the psychopathology of these neurochemicals. Okay, let's see. Okay. Thanks, Bankim Bhai, for sharing. Yeah, Bediji. Yeah, Bediji.
Sir, my take on this is that we should be mature enough to agree to disagree. You need not go in for a fight directly. You can choose your ways of words and speak in a way that need not escalate the problem. There are situations in which that little pause between the trigger and the behavior, that thought which comes in, doesn't give you that much time. And fights do occur. But at the end of the day, if you can, make up.
Okay. Good.
You
So
can
the
make up,
idea,
it's
the
good.
idea is that I have to make up.
No,
Again,
idea is, yes, idea is that for a silly reason, if you
Whatever.
spoil relationships,
correct.
if
See
you
this.
spoil
Correct.
relationships,
So let's understand this so that we can move a little ahead. What
Yes,
what point you are bringing here is that as humans we will always have this concern of spoiling the relationship, right? That's the
Sir.
basic. Good.
Sir.
Good. So when there is a threat of spoiling the relation, tread carefully.
No, sir, not means later on we can, sir, when it's an outburst, sir, without that pause button making you think of pros and cons and how to speak,
Yeah.
without that pause thing coming in between,
Yes.
then you may say words which later you only wouldn't like to.
Correct. Later on, you'll say,
speak.
no. You said all this, and later on, you'll say, no, right?
It was not the correct way, sir.
No, whether it's
So-
correct, no, we are not saying whether this is right or wrong. We are just
Okay.
understanding the phenomena. You will
Okay,
say
sir.
something, and then say, no, this is not right. See, these two parts, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Ambivalent parts.
Yeah, just understand these two parts, okay?
Yes, sir.
Good, very good. Yeah, Lataji.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Right from young age, I have been taught this way that you
Yes.
shouldn't open your mouth.
Shouldn't open your mouth.
Because I was in a joint family. Don't
Yes.
open your mouth. This will sort lots of problems in life. Until about 40 years, I was like that. From
Yes.
last 5 years, I'm changing, but still
Good.
the
Good.
patterns come.
But we understand this phenomena.
Yes.
Don't create fights.
No,
We
think
are brought up with this, right?
yes.
Let
No,
go.
no.
Sacrifice.
Don't open your mouth.
Don't open your mouth. Don't create more problems than what are there.
And that is strength. Opening mouth is not strength. Not opening mouth is strength.
Not opening mouth is strength, because sacrifice is strength,
Yes.
Yes. So we will understand this phenomena. We'll understand how this works within, So we can see that this is automatic in human beings. What is that phenomena? That phenomena is that it is wiser to somehow keep the harmony and balance and peace and whatever you call it, unity of the family and the group, and not have disturbances in the office, and then the fear of the consequences. If I speak out, if I blurt out, if I fire out, then what happens? This it settles in a kind of a trigger inside. So many things then remain inside, and you live a life which is by default controlled by the circumstances, and usually a kind of suppressive, which later on at some point in life brings a question: what is the purpose of life? You feel sab kya hai jamela, ultimately what is all this about? And we feel depressed sometimes, and sometimes depending upon your ancestral patterning, up to suicide you can feel, or you could feel I am so unfortunate and people don't understand me, and I am not understood, and the people don't like me, I cannot speak, ye kya jindagi hai, this is the kind of state that can come, and a kind of helplessness comes in. कि कुछ नहीं हो पा रहा है, मैं कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा हूं, कर पा रही हूं. A kind of helplessness sets in. Most human beings go through this. Am I right or wrong? So let us examine this phenomena, okay? So now I'm going to the next set, okay? The next set of reaction is I shout, I act, I scold, I run, I get into action, I want to make it, break it. I need to find the solution now. I'm so impatient. There is acute excessive action in some direction. There may be anger, rage. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's impatience. The phenomenon, I just cannot wait. If you say, tell me this tomorrow, I say, balls, I will say now. There is no tomorrow. You are restless till the solution is achieved. Do everything. Get to the point, get the answer. There is fire, there is charge. And there is lot of movement. It is action. How many of you are this action type? Okay, Sachi. Good seeing you, Dr. Sachi. Yes, Vedichi is somewhat like that. Okay. Anybody else would like to share? So you can see these two reactions. Yes, Gauravji, I'm able to see the chat. In certain situations, he says he can be like this. But we need to look what is our chronic pattern. What is our natural pattern? What is our chronic pattern? Are we since childhood programmed to suppress and sacrifice the voices that our parents might have said or created out of fear? Or are we the type who, these are the two. Are you understanding this? I sometimes divide human race into these two types, just making it very broad. Okay, so let us look at this phenomena, okay? I call this phenomena, don't rock the boat. Means when we hear this phrase, we are warned. We are warned against disturbing a relatively stable situation. Whether it be for better or it be for worse, at that time we don't care for that. Whether that is for better or worse, we don't have that faculty. But the idea is that don't disturb a relatively stable situation. That is, don't rock the boat phenomena. The phrase is used to keep people from sharing their conflicting viewpoints and staying submissive into majority's opinion or the dominant person's opinion. As a child, we have seen that we have to keep quiet in face of our father's dominant opinion. My children have to keep quiet in the face of my dominant opinion. Because opening the mouth can create problems in the perception of the child. So this fear is of rock into imbalance. This fear, this perceived fear of rocking into imbalance creates inaction. Can you recognize this phenomena as a human being in yourself or in your friends or in your children or in your relatives, in your mother, in your father, in your boss or anybody, in your colleagues? A conformer, yes. Not a rebellion. So one of the phenomena is don't rock the boat. Now we need to understand this phenomena of don't rock the boat. And this don't rock the boat is a phenomena which is very much associated with hormones and neurotransmitters that are in the hypothalamus pituitary axis. We will learn a little bit of this, and then we'll do a little meditation also. So what happens is, the meaning is that don't cause any disturbance. Don't try to change anything. Don't mess up the situation. Don't do anything drastic. Keep things as they are so that they remain normal, they remain calm. Don't create upheavals. Don't make people unusually upset. This is a big part of human nature, yes or no? Good. Good. Ilamparai, very good seeing you here today again after a long time. So we can all see this phenomena. We are trying to understand this as a human being because we are a human yantra. So we are going to react like a human being and not like whatever you do. Your brain cannot become a monkey, or your brain cannot become a cockroach. It will ultimately be a human brain. So this phenomena, don't rock the boat, is a very significant phenomenon we will try to understand. So fear and imagination of consequences. This is a very big phenomena. Imagination of consequences, they cause inhibition, inaction, and suppression. For example, if I say something in this class which will not be liked, it's better I don't say this rather than what can happen by what I will say, you know. So I will inhibit and I will suppress, inaction will occur. And a lot of diseases in life occur because of this tendency to inaction. And all this inaction is sponsored by fear. Friends, look at how often you have lost life, went away because of fear. You did not act. Days and situations just passed by. What can happen? What can happen? This kind of hold us back. So what exactly happens is that not doing anything to rock the boat, you never question, you never ask, you had no scope for possibilities, and you get frozen. Often you may get dreams, for example, that I'm trying to reach somewhere, but I cannot reach. I'm trying to talk, but I cannot talk. I'm trying to find my way. I cannot find my way. I'm finding a toilet and I cannot find a toilet. I'm trying to catch a train and I'm not able to reach. I'm not able to catch a flight and I'm not able to do, not able to do, not able to do. Yes or no? These are very common dreams that my patients and my own self have experienced. There's something and I'm not able to move. You get kind of in a state like paralyzed. Action is not possible. You live, most human beings, many human beings have lived their whole life like this. So What is that? Would you like to go? Would you like to come for a movie? Let's go for a movie? No, no. Let's go for a dance? No. Let's go for this? No. Slowly, when this occurs chronically, then this I can't do it, I cannot do it, I cannot make it. There is a no in the spirit. When this no and I can't, this is the word. Yes, whatever you are saying, Dr. Jayesh, whatever you say, but, yes, but I have a husband, but I have a family problem, but I have a strong mother-in-law, but I have a deadly father, but I have this, but, this but is a huge but. Dr. Jayesh can't do anything. This but, this is a game I'll never play with anybody. Why don't you? Yes, but. Try giving a solution to somebody for their problem and see what happens to you. You will go home and you will have to take a Saridon. You will have to swallow an anti-anxiety pill. किसी को बोल के देखो, why don't you exercise? Why don't you move? Why don't you go for a movie once a week? Why don't you be free? Why don't you act? Why don't you spend money? Whatever. Why don't you? Why don't you? Just say, why don't you? And then you will, that person will say yes, one little yes, and then but. And there will be so much, then you will give more suggestion and that person will do more but, and then that person, you will give even more intense solution and that person will bring bigger buts, and then you will give even deeper solution and that person will give even bigger buts. In the end, you will be more frustrated than the opposite person. You will be more sick. I have experienced this many times in my life. Every day. इसके लिए मैं किसको भी never I give free advice. I charge for my advice. From where does this come? Have you not experienced this in your day-to-day life with your wife, with your children, with your whoever, with your friends? What is this but that stops us? We are butful people. Okay, so let me just see if I can bring. So there is somehow in this but, there is an unconscious loyalty to some misery. We want to break out of what is called as the pseudo homeostasis. Let me see if I can go behind. So why does one do this? One does this because he wants the state of balance of all the body system. This is an inner mechanism of our body. The purpose of our body, the inner organic purpose of our body is to keep balance amongst all the systems. So what is the meaning of this word homeostasis? Means to keep inner environment is called homeostasis. The inner environment of our body, inside whatever environment is there in our body, has to remain in a stable situation. That is a biological functioning quality. That is a quality of the life itself. To maintain this homeostasis, but there are some complications that occur because of this. When you say stasis, it also means inactivity or equilibrium. So what is the belief system? The belief system is equilibrium through inaction and suppression. That is the very interesting part here. And what we want is that all this occurs because of this unconscious loyalty to misery. Breaking out of this pseudo homeostasis. We need to review. So what happens is there is always fear of consequences and you are always balancing. So when there is always fear of consequences and you are always balancing, what is the first thing that happens? The first thing that happens is here, you become like this. Can you see this? What happens? You become completely indecisive. You cannot make a decision. You let the flow decide. And then you can be a perfect victim complaining. How this happens? Why this happens? Loneliness and lack of spontaneity gradually creeps in as days go. You become less and less spontaneous. So how does this begin? We may not be aware, even before when we were very young. That the husband and the wife are not functional in many ways. In today's world, even in my own life, I can see my earlier days of my life and even today, that there are moments when we are like this, as you are seeing in this picture. So what happens to the child? This child, by now you have even forgotten that this had happened. When the parents are constantly in this state, right? Or even if there was some big upheaval once in a while, the child shuts down and feels that it is me. I need to balance this. I need to keep in action. Don't act. Don't talk. Don't create more problems. So we come to the point that there are, when I say hormones within, then in our body, there are chemicals which are neurotransmitters, they are called, hormones they are called, other chemical messengers are there. And there are three main glands or organs which secrete these or produce this or pass this neurotransmitters, chemicals, hormones, whatever you call. It's called endocrine system in medicine. That there is an hypothalamus, there is a pituitary, anterior pituitary particularly, and there is a adrenal cortex. Okay. Now it's very, very interesting. Let me go to the next slide if I can. See, these are the adrenal glands or adrenal cortex here. Okay. Where are they located? Where are the adrenal glands located? These adrenal glands are located above your kidneys. Okay. So these three systems are very intricately connected. So these adrenal glands are glands which secrete stress hormones. Means these are messengers which send in your blood and they say action is needed. It's like clap, action. When the body registers action, then these adrenal glands will start producing hormones like adrenaline, cortisol, all these hormones, which are all action hormones. Dhanadhan, act. Cannot wait, do now. It is like a fire brigade. Dang, 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 dang. He cannot wait even at the signal light. You get my point? Your impatience is like this. Because inside is a fire. You need to run. You need to act. act, dhan. So these action hormones are secreted by the adrenal glands. But when there is too much action, when there are too many these stress hormones in your blood, then there is a natural mechanism. It is called negative feedback. Can you see this here? Negative feedback. This sends a negative feedback to the anterior pituitary, negative feedback to the hypothalamus. Tell them, shut, stop all this action, stop all this action. So they will not secrete chemicals, hormones, neurotransmitters that excite the action. So you go into inaction. When these stress hormones remain high and high and high, after some time, you go into a chronic inaction inhibition state. Then all your ability to act slowly starts going away. You just be a default victim of circumstances. Slowly your spontaneity goes away, your intimacy goes away, your autonomy goes away. You live a life within a certain limit. This goes away. And this whole system becomes dysfunctional. So it's very interesting that these glands which are in the higher and pituitary is a master gland which is in the base of the brain. They're small, little this pea size, but it creates so many hormones which control our thyroid, our sexuality, our adrenaline, all the action, our immunity. It controls our reproductive system. It controls our growth. It controls our so many things, right? And that goes into, it also controls our ability to connect. Like one neurochemical called oxytocin is a bonding hormone. All this gets gradually, what happens? Goes into inhibition. And this pattern is transgenerational. It has happened already since childhood. Are you able to recognize these hormones within? These neurotransmitters within? How they are working in your life? So all the depressive states, depressive thoughts, all these inhibitory thoughts are coming from that perceived threat. And it has remained for so long that now the threat is gone, but you will remain in that same state. And we come with a frozen configuration of what kind of hormones that we are manifesting, what kind of hormonal patterns we are carrying. Our system is run by nerves, by the psychological system and the endocrine, the hormone system. It is called psychoneuroendocrino, and it affects our immunity. So it's called psychoneuroendocrino-immunological system, PNEI. That is what makes us the way that we are. मैं ऐसा क्यों हूं? That comes from this PNEI. That's the central axis. And often the main phenomena here is to inhibit this negative feedback. So there are two types, there are two types. When there is stress, then either you are in action, then you are predominantly secreting cortisol, adrenaline, noradrenaline, aldosterone, histamine, estrogen, testosterone. All these are they are riding horses, galloping horses, And then the other side is the suppressive side, which is the higher inside. All this higher mechanism gets suppressed. Then slowly and gradually you become chronically depressed, chronically inaction person, chronically indecisive, chronically not knowing what to do, become less spontaneous, become inhibitory, getting scared of consequences, not able to make decisions, all this not able to face the challenges. You get dreams, you are frozen. Depends on a broad spectrum of illnesses can occur. Headaches, everything that will allow you to stop. Your body will create all kinds of diseases that allows you to stop, inhibit. Heart attacks, paralysis, joint pains, bleedings, less hemoglobins, fatigue, depressions, weeping, complaining, become a victim, मैं क्या करूं, दुखी दुखी दुखी. So it is very interesting, friends, that this system is clogged. It's like this. So many times you have suppressed. एक दिन तो चक्का जाम होना ही है. You know this word, right? Chakka jam. You will end up in a crisis where you cannot do anything, right? There is no way ahead now. Whether it be in a relationship or in a family or in a business or in whatever situation or with your own self. Even worse is if you don't have somebody who disturbs you, if you don't have somebody who really upsets you, then it's even more, because then you will be on the verge of insanity. Abhi मैं how to explain कि मैं ऐसा पागल क्यों हूँ? अभी तो at least I can have this person, मैं मेरी बीवी को blame तो कर सकता हूँ. Abhi to at least I can blame my father, I can blame my disease. What if this was not there? Then I would have to go to the psychiatric ward. We have to create people who will allow us to live this inhibition. When people disappear, then the body creates inhibitions. This is all a dance of the hormones within. Because in order to understand a phenomena that we call as life, or where we are stuck, or what our disease is, or what our not happy patterns are, we go to past lives and we understand them, or we go to ancestral and healing and understand them. We go to plant, animal, mineral as a homeopath and understand them. But the ultimate direction is these are all different directions in which we go. There can be many more directions. You'll go into the earth, water, fire, elements, whatever, multiple directions. But one basic direction, the journey we need to make is journey into how our hormones are patterned. So that we don't wait till this chakka jams, because there will be many chakka jams that will occur, and then you will somehow come out of it by God's grace. And then again, you are just waiting for the next one to come, because it's not coming from a natural state of spontaneity. It's a very nice poem somebody has written. Don't want to rock the boat, so keep your mouth shut and tight, hold still. It is easier to say nothing or move at all. Making a change or stepping out will indeed rock the boat, that is for sure. Do you stay where you are to appease those around you, or do you take a leap? Are you afraid to shake people's life and yours as well? Despite this niggly feeling reverberating in your body and screaming, shake up, baby. Of course, you don't want to rock the boat. Very nice poem. The boat may tip over, leaving your loved ones and you stranded in icy cold water, left swimming for safety and worse, drowning in this icy cold water. Worst case scenario, possibly your greatest fear. Though, does rocking the boat inevitably tip it over? Despite prickly feelings, your intuitions, universe signs are very shrewdly placed along your path. They'll all say no, no, no. You may decide to ignore them all and remain put. A capsized boat, a failed attempt, scares the daylights out of you. So keep the boat stable, sit in a corner and make sure you don't rock the boat. Life lessons shared from wise people who are themselves very afraid of rocking the boat. Your parents have said all this. You live a ordinary life. The extraordinariness that is there in you loses its fit. So we want to awaken this extraordinariness within. What if one rocks the boat, break the cycle of complexity, take the leap of faith? Chances are boat would stay afloat, sway it may, loved ones will adjust their seats and all will survive, that is guaranteed. But eventually the boat steadies itself and the life goes on again. Only this time you are no longer ordinary, but you have chosen to become extraordinary. Adding that extra to your ordinariness is the readiness to rock the boat. Very wonderfully written. So here we are going to do the process today, okay? So we do a simple process. We will make it as simple as possible, not very complicated thing, okay? Say, hold your hands like this. If I can see you all, it would be wonderful. Hold your hands like this, okay? Now, just tell me, I'm doing this. Okay? This. Okay. A little like a cup, little bit bent, do this. See how your system is feeling when you're doing this. Don't move yourself, only move your hand. See how it feels. How is it feeling when you're doing this? Just one. Don't go this way. Okay, just this one. You can do more also. See how it feels. Yes, friends, how does it feel? Okay, let's do the other one. Then you will know more easily what I'm trying to come to. Okay. Now do this. Tell me what's natural. What is natural? Is this natural or is this natural? Tell me. Which is natural? Batao. Which is natural? बहुत सिंपल बताता हूँ. ये natural है कि ये natural है? Tell me what is natural to you? The second one, right? This going this way, this going this way. Right? This is the balance. This is the imbalance. So we will do again we'll do 2-3 small processes, okay? So in the first process, you just hang your hand like this, like I have hanged here. You can see my hand hanging here to the side, and try and move your hand very slowly like this in a anti-clockwise direction like this. Close your eyes and just move like a pendulum. It's just moving like this. And see what feelings it is producing in you. Just let the hand hang and just move it like this and see what feeling it produces in you. Very gentle. Loose छोड़ना है उसको, tight पकड़ के, not holding it tight, just loose like a pendulum. See how it feels when you move this hand like this. No, just like move it down. You put it down and do just a round movement, a circular movement, okay? Do this circular movement and see how it feels. It's going like this. Okay, down, hanging and going like this. See how it feels. Just intuitively, how your spirit is feeling. Great. Now take some deep breaths, put your palms on your heart, take some deep breaths, and then move your hands in the opposite direction. See how it's feeling. Move it anti-clockwise. Now, if you were moving anti-clockwise, move clockwise. Very gentle. See how it's feeling. Do you notice any difference when you move it clockwise and when you move it anti-clockwise? Anyone can share? What did your spirit feel? A very short meditation, but what did you feel? Yes, more relaxed. Yes, Banki Bhai. Anybody else would like to share? Between the left and the right, tingling, yes. Okay. Yeah. Sachiji, you want to say something? First round boring, second round was heavy. Okay, interesting. First round was boring. Write that down.
There is a lot of dizziness when I'm doing this. And there is a lot of dizziness as if there is a vertigo come. And when I'm doing this, there is something here as if like twisting जो हो रहा था वो confuse dizziness create कर रहा था. जैसे जैसे वो dizziness opposite direction में करा तो वो complete हो गया. वो काफी फिर you come into not dizzy state.
You come into not dizzy state. The one was causing dizziness and another kind was anti-dizziness.
Yeah.
Very good. So you could see that one was suppressing it and the another was causing moving it in the action direction. One was in action direction. You don't know what to do. You feel dizzy and then you bring action and it kind of balances out. Very good, Dr. Sachi. Thank you. Anybody else would like to share? Yes, Bediji. Ji Harvandan ji, Kaur ji, please say something.
Sir, may I speak? Gaurav here.
Okay, just a minute. Let's Bediji finished and then she's unmuted now. Yes.
Oh, sure.
For me, the anti-clockwise was more relaxing than the clockwise.
Yeah, okay. So that clockwise and anti-clockwise, they both had an effect, right?
Yeah.
Good.
It was stressing. Clockwise was stressing.
Good. At some point later on in the evening, you can do it for 10-15 minutes. Do both the directions and see what happens. Okay. Good. Yeah, Gauravji. You need to unmute, Gauravji. Unmute कीजिए.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The host had to unmute. Sorry. So, sir, in the anti-clockwise, I felt as if I was following the flow. as if I was a bogie of an engine.
Okay.
It was like I was being driven into it.
Okay.
And in the clockwise, I'm leading from the front. As if
You are
I am the
leading
engine
from the front.
rather than the
Very,
bogie.
very beautiful. In one, you are
Yes.
a bogie who is pulled by the engine, and another
Yes,
one,
sir.
you are acting
Yes,
by
sir.
your own. Beautiful, beautiful. So well put.
Yes, sir.
So well put.
Thank you.
Can you see this? These are the two sets of hormones.
Hmm. One is stress hormone, where we are
One is being
into
pulled
action.
by somebody,
Yes.
default.
Yes. Yes.
And another
Default.
is action. The action hormones know nothing. They only know, I've got the signal, udhar fire hua hai, fire engine doesn't know anything. It has to run there. It is very focused.
Hmm. Sir, this is amazing. Sir, this psychology, this physiology is read since last 20 years as a student of science. But this approach to connect physiology to psycho-immunology or emotionology or the neuropsychology is profound.
Yes.
It's an entire different paradigm to the whole old physiology, sir. I'm honored and humbled to receive it, sir.
Yes, we'll try to understand it a little, 2 steps more to go. So,
right, sir.
So we will have to look at ourselves that how we can respect the doing hormones which have mastery about what has to be done. The stress hormones, the cortisol, the adrenaline, the histamines, the noradrenaline, they are masters. The moment they get the order, they know what they have to do. To me, cortisol is a wonderful substance in our body. If you read very deeply what it does, it is a spiritual master. Adrenaline is spiritual master. That substance knows so much. Everything about stress, how to manage the stress. Yes, Bankimji, Krina, what did you want to say?
It's about the exercise you told us to do about the revolving the hand. When I was revolving my left hand anti-clockwise, I felt a very strong sense of stiffness.
Okay.
And I did try to overcome it. It gave me a little pain in my shoulder.
So what is stiffness?
Inaction.
Stiffness is inaction.
Yes. Yes.
So today, somehow, whether you know or not, this inaction part of hormones have come to your consciousness.
Yes.
And what happened when you did the other way?
It was very easy.
It was easy. So can you see that you have understood your stiffness and moved into easiness?
Yes.
Your hormones within have somehow balanced. Without your knowing, 2-minute process, button dabaya, card bar, danadan.
Yes.
You don't need to go into samadhi. Yeah, Lataji.
Sir, when you asked me the first time, it was like, ye kya karwa rahe hain, karu ki nahi karu? And second time when I was doing the song Ringa Ringa Roses, when we do it at young age, right? It was like that. It went suddenly to a playful mood of...
exactly. See, it brought this playful mood. Yeah, it's gone to the times before it was frozen.
Yeah. You know, even now it's ringing in my head, Ringa Ringa Roses.
Absolutely. That is the joy of life.
Yeah. Sudden smile in my face.
Smile. See, because the hormones have balanced themselves.
Yeah, true. Excellent, sir.
Very easy it is. Only
Yes.
problem is because it is free, no, it doesn't work so well for some people. तो थोड़ा चार्ज पर वो तगड़ा लेना चाहिए.
Sure.
Yeah, नीलम जी, नीलिमा जी, दादा.
Simako. Yeah, it was such a wonderful thing. Like initially I resisted, and then when I did it, I enjoyed it. It was like moving against the current. I was rowing a boat, and one time I was in a flight mode. In boat, it was so beautiful. Like I was feeling so light, and I enjoyed it. Both the moments I enjoyed.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So friends, here I want to, before we end, we want to do one 10-minute very special meditation. We have some time. Good. I was told that I have to do till 6:30. And then they said, I asked them that how long can I go if it goes extra? He said, you can go as much as you want, but 6:30 we all will leave. Okay. So, so let's do this one simple process, this very simple process. It's like when you enter the water and you swim. How do you swim? You swim this, right? Do you swim this? Why not? You swim this, right? You don't swim this. Now what has happened is our boat that is driven by our hormones and neurotransmitters, our nerves, our psychology. It is like this. It moves like this. This is the natural rhythm of it. Yeah. Its rhythm is not this, but we have fallen into this rhythm. If you have rowed boat ever, I've done some boat rowing, I've done some canoeing. So what happens when you canoe or when you row a boat? If anybody has had an experience, if your left hand is stronger and you pull that row a little stronger than your other hand, what happens? What happens? The boat will go in that direction, right? Yeah, Gauravji, you were saying something. Please help him to unmute, Gauravji. Yes, they'll help you out. Can you help Gauravji to unmute?
I unmuted. Gauravji, can you please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, exactly the words you were telling, that the boat will go to one side.
The boat will go to one side.
I'm not being to...
Because
yes, sir, yes.
This is not happening.
And we go off the balance.
And you go off the balance. The boat will go and dash somewhere, and it can even topple if it goes very hard. So actually what you are doing is you are not just, you are actually what you think you are doing to don't rock the boat. You are actually going to capsize the boat by this one side movement. Your inhibitions, your inactions is going to topple the boat actually. It's going to crash somewhere.
Overaction will topple the boat.
No, because only one, supposing only these two sides are there, right? Now you are only rowing this inaction side.
Yes, sir. Yes,
what will happen?
Yes, sir.
You will go to some place and crash somewhere, completely not knowing. आपको जाना है कन्याकुमारी और आप पहुंचोगे कहाँ रंगून.
Right. Correct, sir. Correct.
and you will crash there and not knowing what to do. You are confused. You don't know where am I, main kahan hu. Our whole life is sometimes like this, main kahan hu, because we don't know. We are just so much in a default mode.
Sir, and I'm also becoming made aware that the same thing is happening in our relationships.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we are too much trying to catch a relationship. We are trying to work too much into a relationship to make it work. Sometimes we are totally apathetic and we are not letting it work at all, or we are not doing anything in it.
Yeah, it's not in sync.
Like that, it's not in sync. It's not in the harmony of balance of midpoint. Equipoise is not there.
Normally in a family, there'll be one who will be, when one is very, very stressed and hormones are very high, the other will shut.
Yes, buffering,
balancing.
balancing.
So normally in a family, there'll be one who is in a hyper mode to do everything, very impatient and loud, and then there'll be other who will be very suppressed, very depressed. What happens inside in the body is the same that happens outside. In the office also same thing happens. There'll be one boss who is suppressive and the other boss who is very proactive. Very stress-driven, impatient, wants it now. This is not happening. So then that boat goes only in that direction.
Wow, this is a aha moment. This is Dr. Preeti Kohli's aha moment for me. This is amazing.
So everything, friends, is this direction. Today is direction hormones. To understand that all that, all the patterning from any past lives or childhood or inner child or plants or minerals or animals or any other ways, any sickness is ultimately they manifest in our hormone patterns. They are the main carriers of actors that actually cause that inner reality. So the other way is also true, that if your hormones get balanced, then your outside past lives also can be negated and your parental ancestral patterning also can be reframed. So what we want to do is we want to do one meditation in which we will all be swimming in this big pond of moving circles. These are gentle, wonderful substances, these hormones, these neurotransmitters, these chemical messengers, they are kind of nectars, but they are all this huge pond of this different hormone, neurotransmitter energy is there, and you will gently move through all the movements and see what experience each circle is giving you. And just trust what your life force wants to learn today. Let me see if I can, at least for some of you. Anyway, on the YouTube, the sound, the music will go away, but I'll try to see if I can. Just close your eyes and be in that pond. Allow yourself to just float and gently swim through this wonderful neurochemicals and transmitters. Very gently floating through all the moving circles of hormones and neurotransmitters. Allow yourself to experience this inaction and action. Allow yourself to be in both the positions, facing the water and then facing the sky. You're floating through this wonderful nature of these neurotransmitters, these hormones, these chemical messengers within your body. Also allow yourself to float as if completely free and relaxed, but getting the messages from this messenger. All different colors like nectars, this wonderful pool of pond of these super chemicals, these divine chemicals, these divine neurotransmitters, these divine hormones. See what memories they want to resolve today. As you pass through them, how they have been activated and inactivated in different timelines of your life. You can turn your head skywards and just float in that waters, in that wonderful nectar-like water. Recognize those times when it stopped you into inaction and froze you with fear. As you move through them, getting the essential wisdom, ready to move your boat, your life in the direction that you choose to move. Directing and choosing your soul plan as these hormones will help you to move through this stuckness. Let them touch your heart. Let them touch your spirit. Let them bring that divine guidance, bringing the wisdom of action. And knowing the limitations of inaction. All the depressive emotions and the exciting emotions. They will bring your entire life in front of your eyes. Right from your childhood till now. All the phases when you were stuck in that inaction circle, as you move out into the action circle, and the inaction circle, and the action circle. As if these hormones are massaging your soul through different times in your life. As you enter into that part of the pond, which has all the happy hormones, the endorphins, the serotonins, the motivational hormones, the love hormones, the bonding hormones, that allow you to live in your highest potential, that activate your highest potential beyond the fear of rocking the boat. Allows you to act in the highest interest of your soul plan. Put both your palms slowly on your heart as this integrated energy enters into the field of your heart. As you are ready to walk in the ups and downs of your life, as you are ready to move to the action in your life, as you're ready to open the inner dynamism, coming out of that stagnant mode. Thanking all these hormones. Take some deep breaths. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Yes, anyone would like to share? We take just 3 sharings. We take 2-3 sharings if anybody wants to share. We go for 5 more minutes. Yes, Pumpkin Karina ji.
Beautiful experience. And just as you said, started off with just simple floating. I don't know where I was floating, but I was just floating and it was happening. And then there was lovely water flowing very, very gently. And I was floating with that water. Then I was in a boat. So I was just going the way the boat was going. I anchored the boat and got out of the boat and started floating on my own. And it was the best feeling I have had because with my eyes closed, there was, black and gray, just pouring in. But as soon as I anchored the boat and got out of the boat and started floating on my own, somehow, I don't know how, my whole self changed into a mermaid. I changed into a, that kind of colors, and white was pouring in. And I was so happy. On the other side, there was another side which had, kind of rapids and fast flowing water, but there was a lot of distance. There was a lot of easy way where I could float in my own way, and I didn't have to be in the boat to be happy. So this is what I felt, and it was a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, finally given up that delusion of the boat.
I don't know. At least while you said it, it came.
There is no boat. Yes, wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. Nilima ji, please.
Unmuted. Yeah, it was such a magnificent thing. Like speaking out is like when you said, I was a bit scared. Like that was a big ocean, and I saw below many creatures and all. And then I heard the word nectar. So that nectar word was like, it was an amrit water. It was not a water, it was amrit. And I was moving towards something like sort of a shivering or something in water. And then I became observer to all those things in the water. And I swam towards my destination, and I embraced it, like being an observer to all the things, and it didn't affect me at all.
Wonderful. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Yes. Harvandan Kaur Bedi ji, please.
Awesome experience, sir. And although I was trying to float, but my dream is always to fly. So I was flying also in between. And there are always negative and positive events in our lives. So when you told that go through them, I shunned off the negatives. And I put when you said to put the heart, the nectar thing also brought in so much positivity. And when I put my heart hands on my heart, I soaked in the positivity, the happiness, my dreams. And my dream is, I believe in just fly, chase your dreams and fly. So that got so enhanced, sir. It was wonderful.
Beautiful. All the doing hormones will know what and where you have to go. They are just masters. Yes, friends, it was just a wonderful session to be with you. And before we end, I would like to make this one little announcement. I don't know if the screen is seen. Can you see the screen? Please say yes or no. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. This is one Shraddha Cures. Our clinic is, after a long time, doing a advanced version of its journey within. And this workshop is going to be called Dimensions and Directions. Today we saw one direction we went. In the third dimension, we went into one direction, that was hormones. Like this, on the third dimension, there are many directions. And there are many dimensions in which there will be many directions that we need to journey in order to become a multidimensional, multidirectional consciousness that allows not only physical disease to heal, but brings us to that love frequency which the world needs today. This is going to be an international event, and this will be at Diwar Islands in Goa. The resort has been reserved only for the participants. And you can write down the website. It is called www.homeopathyconsultants.com. Here, note the spelling of homeopathy. It is HOMOEO. You can take a screenshot or you can take a picture of this from your cell phone if you want. And mark these dates out if you are interested. On this website, there are certain videos which will help you to understand what this workshop is and what the intentions are. And this is the contact us.shraddhacures@gmail.com. And that Shraddha is DHDHA, cures@gmail.com. You can take the picture if you are keen on journeying through multiple dimensions and directions, after looking at some video talks which are there about this seminar on this website, mark these dates out. Yes, you want to say something? Harvantanji Kaur Baby, yes, please. Can you mute her? Yes.
Once, is it only offline or will it be online also?
No, it will not be online because this will be we are going to do very interesting processes which cannot be done online. This particular event was done online last year for 180 hours through the year, every weekend. It was done for a group of Brazilian doctors and their family. And for 1 year, nobody left and we had fantastic feedbacks. So this is the first time we are doing it in person in India, and second time in all, but the limitations that were there online, we will be able to expand our consciousness much more. So this particular event, no, we will not be able to do online as it looks just now, but I don't know, as things evolve, maybe.
Please try, sir. Please try.
We'll look into this.
Yes.
We will look into this.
And second, can I request you for the poem, sir?
Yeah, I think you could find it online also, because that's where I found it. So there must be written the author. I don't know exactly, but there must be some.
But if you could share it, it would be very kind, sir. It's a
you
lovely poem.
You just put Rock the Boat and you should be able to get this poem. I forget the name of the author. I thought I have put it here, but somehow it's not there. I can see.
Okay,
in my previous presentation, I had acknowledged this author of this particular poem.
Beautiful, sir.
If you want, you can take the picture. I will keep this on. Okay. You can take the picture of this, no problem. Or you could Google and see where exactly. Okay, so this is one. Have you taken it? Say yes.
Yes, yes.
The second one.
Yes.
And the third one. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So with this, friends, I sign off for now. And hope we meet again.
Gratitude, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, QLU. And thank you all the spirit with which you participated today. Thank you so much. Bye, friends.